Thank you. We'll start our second question with Mr. Mack. How do you plan to ensure the future reliability, availability, and funding of emergency services in Mt.Juliet, including police, fire, and ambulance? Please share your thoughts on the disparity between the City of Lebanon having 79 sworn police officers and Mt.Juliet having only 47, with Mt.Juliet having a larger population.
Well, when I became mayor in 2000, we worked hard to recruit retail businesses to Mt.Juliet, and that worked very well, as you've seen in the Providence development. That has basically doubled the amount of revenue that's coming into the city. I would plan to aggressively continue that, not only retail, but other types of businesses, including office. And I think you've got to take a look, comparing us to Lebanon, that there are different needs for different cities, and so you can't directly compare one person's population and number of police officers to another. You've got to look at each situation individually. But to summarize, I think that continuing to grow our sales tax revenue through businesses is the way to stave off the property tax that this question alludes to. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Elam?
I think it's the question is stated in somewhat of a false manner. I realize you didn't write them yourself, but you've got to recognize that Mt.Juliet, although it has a large population and is now the largest city in Wilson County, that we're actually very small in terms of square miles. We have not aggressively gone out and annexed areas just to say that they're in our territory. So Mt.Juliet of Wilson County that's approximately 600 square miles, Mt.Juliet only comprises 20 square miles of that. If you've driven to Lebanon or through Lebanon, you know that they're much more spread out than we are, and the more land area you have to cover, the more police that you have to cover. We do have almost twice as many police officers as we had when my term began in 2004. We've had a significant increase in the number of service calls. We've also had a significant increase in our case clearance rate, and the reported crimes per 1,000 people has gone down almost half.
Thank you. Jim Bradshaw.
Would you repeat it, please?
Surely. How do you plan to ensure the future reliability, availability, and funding of emergency services in Mt.Juliet, including police, fire, and ambulance? Please share your thoughts on the disparity between the City of Lebanon having 79 sworn police officers and Mt.Juliet having only 47, with Mt.Juliet having a larger population.
All right. On the funding of the fire department, one, I plan to continue teaming with WEMA, Wilson County Emergency Management, as a partnership with the City of Mt.Juliet. We have started our volunteer fire company. They will start going to training this in the middle of October, around 27 people. And also, I'm in favor of Mt.Juliet buying a ladder truck. There's no ladder truck in Mt.Juliet. We're the ones built a 5-story building, basically, so I think we need to take care of that partnership. We have more funds coming in. The big boxes have not been counted, some of them this year, in our revenue for 08, 09. And as far as the size of Lebanon and Mt.Juliet, as Linda stated, we're a lot smaller in square miles as in Lebanon, and we have a fine, I'm not saying Lebanon does it, but we have a fine police department. And I got 4 seconds, and Andy Garrett is doing a great job. He says, model city. Thank you.
Thank you. 60 seconds. Perfect. Mr. Marlowe.
Okay, to begin with, being an ex-county commissioner, I want to make sure that the tax dollars that are being generated by our own city is being properly utilized for the citizens that are paying those taxes. I'm not sure that is accurate at this point in time, and I want to make sure that we get the benefit of what our citizens are paying, first of all. Second, we have to determine need versus want and plan accordingly. And to do that, we're going to have partnerships with our community leaders to determine what we feel like we can do and when do we need to do it. And to reiterate what somebody else says, we're going to have to bring in more businesses for additional funding.